welcome back to Lost Youths. This is Aarti.
This is Barsha speaking.
And your special guest.
We have a special guest today, guys.
Our part-timer's back.
A part-timer Rasmita.
Yes, that's
Da-da-da.
true.
Rasmita is back today, and we are very happy that our part-timer can be part of this episode. Because as you can see, our title is something to do with love.
Happy Valentines.
So
yes.
guys, happy Valentines
Happy
or
Valentines.
happy Galentines, whichever way that you want to celebrate. But really, every day should be a Valentine's Day,
Amen to that.
right? So since February is all about love, we thought we'd kind of go into this subject.
What subject?
So the question that we are going to explore is something that I kind of deeply connect with. There is no right or wrong answer to it. And for our listeners who are listening as well, maybe you could take a few moments to kind of think about the answer. So the question is this: is it a sin to show affection and kindness to someone to a point? There's a small possibility they might start to have feelings for you when you never had such intentions to begin with.
So let that sink in for a bit.
Let that sink in. That was quite a long question as well.
Do you want to kind of mention where you even got this topic or this question from? Or
Okay. For this question, I want to credit my friend, Mr. Waterclouds. You can find him on Instagram if you type Waterclouds. He actually posted this question, and this kind of thing has always been on my mind, but I could never put it into words. And when I saw this question on his story, it kind of automatically lit up a light in my brain, and I was like, oh my god, this is everything that I've thought of, but I couldn't put into words. So this the credit goes to Mr. Waterclouds. You can also find him on Shutter Corp Films. I can't hate saying that word. Shutter Corp FILMS. I'll say it in letters like that. But yeah, so this is where it all started.
okay, so let's start with you then, since this question popped up and you kind of was familiar with this whole sort of concept. So what's your answer to that?
My answer at the time, I said no, and I still stick by it, that I don't think it's a sin to show affection and kindness to someone. But I think because of the society that we live in and everything, people will start twisting your words for what they're not. And I feel like in our society right now, you can't even, to the opposite sex, you can't just go up to them and say, hey, I like you. You have to give a justification to say, oh, if you like them as a friend, or if you see them not as a friend, or if you see them in a romantic way. So I feel that pressure from the society and the environment that we live in.
I definitely agree with it. Agree with you. Because especially if you don't have an intention to begin with, how is it even a sin, Because you're not doing it because showing affection and kindness, you do it because that's just a human thing to do.
Yeah,
it's human nature. So to me, that's just stupid. I mean, if, for example, I show affection and kindness to someone with no intention, and that person happens to start having feelings for you, then that's I don't get it. Yeah, how can you blame, let's say, me?
Exactly, right?
That's their feelings. I'm sorry you have those feelings. I don't mean to have created those feelings for you. It's just silly to me.
Help it, can you?
Just off topic actually. Well, similar, still on topic. When you saw this question on Mr. Watercloud's Instagram, did you post it was it just a question, or was it a poll, or?
Oh, he posted it as a question first, and then he on the next slide it was give me your thoughts kind of thing. Do you agree, do you not agree kind of thing? And I would like to share a few of the answers from the poll, which will stay anonymous because I actually don't know who these answers are from, because it was from his story, and I asked him if I could have these answers for my personal reference, and I would like to share a few. I only have two that I saved, so I will just quickly read them out. So one individual said, of course it's not a sin, but it's hard to believe there are many without such intentions. Kindness is just a commodity after all. Something that people deny and preach is free, but secretly keep receipts of to keep track of favors owed to them in exchange for their kindness. It's bought and sold, nothing more, nothing less, as much as it pains me to say.
Interesting.
What do you guys say about that? And I mean, I can totally see where this person is coming from as well, and this really does happen as well, okay? That's why you can't really say no. Because there are so many examples of people who will say, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do this, of course, and few months down the line or a few years down the line, that person will say, remember that time I helped you out, this.
This has blown my mind, because initially I was like, it's not a sin, but now that you said it, I mean, I still don't think it's a sin, but the fact that it opens a different side to it. I'm just like, because like you said, yeah, there are some very evil people out there.
And, and this kind of goes hand in hand with people having, I think, trust issues as well. If someone does this to you, of course you're not gonna trust people from then on, and this is where trust issues start.
Yeah.
And kindness should not be bought and sold, but unfortunately in our time it does happen, which is sad.
What's the other person saying? Is there an opposing view to that?
There weren't as opposing views, but a second opinion from another individual was, no, it isn't a sin to be that kind, but you should be aware of what your actions can do. Make it clear to them that you see them only as friends and don't do things that lead them on.
I think enough.
I wasn't actually thinking this deep into the question.
So what was the original?
I was thinking just them being friends or something like that.
Exactly. Okay, it should be that simple, Nita. But why is it that as humans we start seeing these other side of things and make everything complicated for ourselves? Okay, our human nature has made us so evil. And it baffles you, does it not?
My brain is all mixed up right now.
The more you think about it, the more you think, what the fuck is so stupid, and
it makes you wonder what people think about.
Yeah.
What? Something we don't think about.
The people around you always want justification for every action that you take, which to me is why should I give justification for every action that I take when you are not even anyone to me, when you don't know me? And that is what I hate about our human nature, that we are so quick to judge people, we are so quick to make assumptions.
But I'm sure it wasn't like this before. I think as the time progresses, people have become more judgmental and more this.
So I just think it's so sad that we live in a time where you can't even go up to your opposite sex and just say, hey, I like you, If you say that in front of other people, they'll be like, yeah, you just confessed to that person. Do you like them in a romantic way, or do you like them just as friends? If you like them just as friends, why did you just confess it like that? It's But yeah, like Borsha said earlier, you can't take the blame for that other person feeling that way, but you cannot also blame that other person for feeling that way as well.
This again goes back to human nature. But I do agree with the second person earlier, the second response, where the person said, no, of course it's not a sin, but if you happen to notice that the other person is starting to develop feelings for you, then maybe you should kind of let them know instead of leading them on to say, that's like someone like that.
Yeah, that's that. Yes, I agree with that too.
But isn't it so frustrating that in this day and age, a man and a woman cannot just be friends?
Exactly. Oh yeah, it frustrates me a lot.
Especially Nepali community, I feel like as Gorar, they're a bit flexible and they can hang out and so on. And I do feel like even Amre generation, muni pani, I see my brother being friends with girls and stuff like that, and it's totally fine. But I remember even if I were to be friends with a guy, even my own parents would start questioning.
Yeah.
I just.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. I think somewhere in acceptance where people are not able to accept it. Maybe I just don't know. Maybe because like our parents go era ma चाहिँ that kind of thing didn't exist at all. Like male and female भनेको you are only there to get married to each other and there's no outbound त्यो भन्दा उस पनि छैन के.
Or else phalana starts.
Yeah,
Oh
phalana.
God, that's don't even. Let's not get that.
I
Can't
guess
deal with
it's like,
this.
It goes back to that quote, like, a girl and a guy can never be friends.
Which is
Do you know what I've also heard? Another quote in like a girl and a guy can never be friends because one of them will start developing feelings. I've heard this before as well. Okay, what do you think of that? What's your take on that quote?
From my own experience, no.
You disagree?
Not from my own experience. But I've
Of
seen
course.
like, I guess my baini, she's got lots of guy friends. And I guess to begin with, like even my parents were a bit, you know,
Were they like
puzzled
against?
and like, against it because people will start talking about you now. I mean, like she's got those stares, like when they go in town, they're hanging out,
Yeah.
and then चिनेको मान्छे छ भने they'll like call my mom immediately and be like, my baiनी तिम्रो छोरी त तिम्रो कोसँग हिँडिरहेछ and all that. But like mommy and daddy, like they've met them as well, and then like I don't know, I think till now they're still a bit not comfortable.
Whoa.
I don't think so.
Because they like from what I know, like your sister friends, the guy friends, do come around and hang out over at your place a lot.
home.
Nita, no?
Not at the moment.
Of course,
COVID.
COVID. Pre-COVID. But yeah, they used to come around, no?
Yeah, they always come around.
And on top of that, it's not like a 1 or 2 year relationship. They've been friends for a very long time as well.
They've been friends since college. So.
Exactly. So, do you know what? Going on to that as well. Like I remember a few years back, or even I don't know how long years back. That growing up, I have a younger brother. For people that don't know, and growing up, his height, so whenever I used to walk around town or I was with him, he's my brother, but then I would get so much dirty looks from aunties. Obviously, they don't know the story, but they just see like young hineko. They would give me looks, and that itself would piss me off. Like, I'm like, what? This is my brother, okay?
I think this is what our older generation need to start learning, that not everyone that they see out and about who is a male and a female doesn't directly mean that they are a couple or that they like each other. They are just two individuals who are friends, and then that is it. And our older generation needs to stop tattletaling it.
Oh,
this is
God.
the biggest
biggest thing that
I can't even that word is not in my head, but you guys get what I mean. Like that is where the issue starts. Like say about Boinigo parents, right? Rosmita's mom and dad, they are kind of not comfortable with it, but they don't
like
say
open
no.
to the idea.
They're open to the idea, but it's people from the outside family circle who come in and say, "Hey, look, I saw this and this together. Like, what's happening?" And then they do a judgment. We start doubting ourselves a lot more. Again, I just want to quickly mention as well that this can be seen as guilt tripping. Another example that I'll give is either when a person is in a relationship and either the male or female has a connection to the other sex outside the relationship, people are much more quick to judge, and the person may not even think anything of it, like Rosmita said, like she would just see them as friends neither. But it is when rumors start and judgment starts that they start second guessing themselves. Okay? So like say me and Bosch were in a relationship now. We can have guy friends outside of our relationship, and we don't think anything more of it as seeing guy friends as just guy friends. But when other people from the outside come in and I don't know, they might go tattletale it to my boyfriend or whatnot, or other friends, and say, "Hey, I saw this girl with yo, what's happening?" That is when everything starts to fall apart. We are starting to take that outside judgment and taking it more personally, and we start feeling a bit guilty. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have gone out with my guy friend. Maybe I shouldn't have hung out with him. But that's so wrong. And why should I feel insecure like that? Because of that other person's judgment who doesn't even know me. So,
I totally agree with this. And
this really angers me.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Okay, go ahead.
Does your other half care about it?
Yes and no.
Yeah, it's a bit of a yes and no. But
It's not a direct answer. Yeah.
I haven't completely talked to him about this concept yet. I mean, he does know that I have guy friends and he is okay with it. But he doesn't go and say, oh, don't be friends with no guys. Because my life is my life. And then he has no control
And
over
do
it.
they have girlfriends?
Huh?
And do they have
Yeah, of
girlfriends?
course. And I've met them as
What's
well.
the
And-
point?
I've met them. I'm comfortable around with them. And what I stick by in life is, my life is mine and your life is yours. Live by it. And then, why should there be interference in between? Again, everyone should live like that. There should be no interference in your outside relationships just because of त्यस्तो अरूको opinionहरू and त्यस्तो thoughtsहरू,
So with my case as well, I guess this basically the example that you gave is basically what happened. So I was friends with this guy and very good friends with this person, but there was so much judgment, not even from my partner, but so much judgment from other people. कुराहरू निकाल्ने हुन्छ नि. I would hear stuff like, oh, your man is talking about this person is talking about that person, and then is talking about the thinking of you guys in this certain light, and that really pissed me off because I'm like Arati said, why can a guy and a girl not be just friends? And they might be, because of their talking and the way they were spreading, I guess, this rumors or whatever, it made it so uncomfortable, and it got to a point where maybe are we doing something bad type but at the end of the day, you're not, because you're still faithful to your person. That person knows that I'm in a relationship. I've told the person that I'm in a relationship about this person. So what's wrong?
Exactly. That is what I mean. People need to stop being in this low vibration of being judgmental and assuming other people's behaviors. Stop, man. People, stop.
But I think
it gets me so angry.
It's good to have this conversation. I think going forward, especially about our generation onwards, fingers crossed, we'll be able to change a few things here and there.
Yeah.
Because, and also, actually, it got me thinking about, Rasmita, your parents, how you said, they already know about your sister's situation with the guy friends, yet they're open to it, but they're not fully comfortable. It got me thinking, the fact that maybe they're not fully comfortable is because your parents still get the calls and say, oh yeah, possibly, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, it all goes back to our society, it all goes back to, I fucking hate that shit.
Tattletale.
I wish we
Literally,
would get away from this.
So fingers crossed, our generation going forward, we hopefully can get rid of that. It's a little bit of phones. And hopefully, fingers crossed, if you are listening, young generation, let's stick together and stop this shit.
Yeah, just know that other people's lives is not your business. Full stop.
That's the thing. Again, it goes back to the human nature thing, though. Other people's life is not your...
So I said, your life is yours and my life is mine.
That basically, I think it goes back to, again, human nature. So about... what's he got in? I'm sure this will kind of carry on. I can't just be so positive with it. But again, I did hear that it's in human nature to gossip and with other people. Because, for example, let's say me and Rasmita are really good friends, and then we meet this girl called Arati, right? And we both feel negative vibes from her, And then I tell Rasmita, oh, this girl, technically I'm still gossiping that now. Oh, this girl Arati, she's giving me this weird vibes, yeah. But and then Rasmita's gonna be like, oh shit, me too, bhanera. तेरो कुरा गर्दा गर्दा रसमदार मेरो रिलेशनशिपको bond grow हुन्छ रे के. For that reason, gossip in a sense is healthier, and that's it's human nature. You can't really just completely get rid of it, okay? So I mean
that would make sense,
right? But going forward, we should really try to keep things to ourselves, I guess, and then not be so judgmental of other people. Yeah.
But then because of that, because of this problem, my dad and my sister did speak for a full year or something.
What? A full year? Wait, because of the situation with guy friends?
Not because of that. I think it's because she used to go out a lot as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they finally got back to speaking with each other.
Aww.
1 year.
Which I find so funny.
1 year.
I guess because of like kurakatsan na. I think that is the main problem.
Yeah.
Which is so sad, ke?
हुन्छ नि like हाम्रो Nepali society our older generation parents tend to put their pride over everything. Like
they want to hear only good things.
And the sad thing is they're willing to put other people's happiness in front of their own children. आफ्नै चालको अब
I believe this is one of the main reasons why Nepali parents and Nepali family we don't have that typical bond that we see in Western society family. We don't openly talk about like things that are causing us stress or things that are getting into our way, because obviously we don't want to like stress our parents out as well, but I think this is one of the reasons why we don't bond with our parents.
But I think with that said, our parents they've come from a very different generation to ours. I think it is us younger generations' core responsibility, because we've grown up in this Western society, so we know how Gora family works. So I do think in a sense that it's our responsibility to open that conversation up with them, because the way they've been brought up or the way they've been raised excuse me, by their parents, like even if they mind wasn't that I need to talk to my kids about this issue, but the words won't probably come out because they're not accustomed to that. Okay?
It's probably a very uncomfortable challenge for them as well.
What's really important, I think, if there are parents listening to this podcast, which I doubt, why not? But I think parents our responsibility as younger generation, we do need to start being a bit open, I know. But as parents generation, they also need to let us, basically, they also need to open up. Yeah, they also need to listen to what we have to say, because we are growing up, and I know like kids will always be kids in their eyes, but they also need to learn to listen and understand and respect what we have to say as well. Otherwise, we're never going to move forward. Yeah.
True, very true.
I think we're going a bit off topic. Are we still on topic? I don't even know.
No, we're not.
We're never on topic, guys.
I just want to point out as well, like the question that we highlighted, it's not just limited to heterosexual relationships. Heterosexual just means straight, your sexual orientation, whereas between the opposite sex, but also to LGBTQ relationships where it could be between the same gender. So it could really apply to anyone and everyone. The question doesn't just apply to a male and a female gender, but everyone, because love is love. You can feel love towards the same sex, the opposite sex.
Heck, even cats, right? Like
animals,
No, like, isn't it like a fact that, like, if, for example, you have a cat, and you go outside and you see a stray cat and you pet that cat and got out there, your cat knows that sense, right?
Yes.
So it's not just humans here.
Going back to having male and female friendships, just want to quickly touch up on boundaries. Like we said that the traditional quotes of saying, female and a male can't be friends, the
male and female cannot be friends without either one of them developing feelings or something.
Okay, but I think what we need to learn is what boundaries are and how we can implement them in our lives to kind of move forward. Boundaries भनेको चाहिँ I don't think it's something that many people think about, but it's something that we should definitely start implementing. And this doesn't have to be just in like a relationships, right? It can work in like your parental relationships or any kind of relationships, like even friendship or if that's something that you don't like in your friend circle, just say, hey, listen, I don't like how you guys are talking, or I would appreciate if it could be done in a different way. Boundaries don't mean that you put up a wall in between the relationship, but it's more so saying it would be great if we do it another way, or something that is beneficiary to you but doesn't really inhibit the relationship itself. And I think we need to start implementing this in like especially these kind of I don't want to say like troubling relationship, but as a society, that is what we see it as, and that is how we label it. But yeah.
But this goes both ways there. For example, if we've got a certain, like even with the friendship circle question, let's say you have a problem and you express that to the other person. I think it's also the responsibility for the other person to be like, I understand. You have to respect it. Yeah.
There has to be acceptance and respect in that field as well.
Both ways.
Yes, definitely.
So at the end of the day, communication is so important.
Is key. Understand each other and respect other people's and each other's opinions. Your opinion is not the only opinion. Everyone's opinions matters.
And then we gossip about it at the end.
But hey, like I said, it's human nature.
Everything goes back to human nature. And affection and kindness can be shown through small gestures.
You're right there.
And words. It doesn't even have to be physical. And I think when we think about just the word love or affection and kindness, we kind of think, I don't know, physical. Like
hugging.
But you can show affection by words, and that's fine too.
So going completely against what Valentine's Day is, and if you're listening to this on Valentine's, I'm sorry, but
no, we're not sorry. Don't say sorry.
Okay, fuck you, I'm not sorry. But honestly, to me, Valentine is so bullshit. Like, it's just a big marketing plot basically to sell all these roses. Like, literally, guys, wait until the 15th and buy your candies. Exactly. Everything's going to be on sale.
Yeah, it's going to be half price.
One thing I find stupid...
the regular stuff more expensive.
Exactly, up the price. But yeah, what I find stupid is that they have a day dedicated to love, and they're like, you need to express your love, buy them flowers, buy them gifts. But no, you should be doing this on a daily basis. Exactly. Why should you be doing this one day of the whole year?
Yeah, exactly.
That's so bullshit to me. Yeah, that's why I'm just like, Valentine's, get out.
Yeah, get out.
Happy Valentine's Days, guys.
Thank you.
So when people gossip between like relationships and stuff, say that there's person A and then there's person B, a male and a female, and then they're not in a relationship, or that they are in somewhat of a relationship, but I can't explain it.
Do you mean like they're not officially together, but they are in a way committed to one another? Like, no, they're not fully...
Are they still friends?
Too many questions. I think we're confusing her.
Let me get my thoughts together. Okay, no. Okay, wait, totally different. Say a person A and person B, a male and a female, are together, but people see them as an unlikely couple who got together, right? Mm-hmm. And then, like, there are people who talk shit and be like, maybe a केटीले के गर्यो होला नि त्यही भएर केटा बसेको, or like, हुन्छ नि they must have done it, so that's why they're together, they must have, हुन्छ नि they must have fucked, that's why they're together. त्यस्तो हुन्छ नि. Those kind of assumptions again like make me feel so angry again, like हुन्छ नि, like I said, like they might have had something in between them that they connected through words and like through talking. It might have not even been anything that was physical, but people from the outside see it as being, यसले के गर्यो होला यो रिलेसनशिपमा बस्नको लागि भनेको. Such evil thinking, yeah.
Listeners can't see me, but throughout the whole thing, I was rolling my eyes. Like, it was doing 360, right?
Doing cartwheels.
But no, it's so stupid. That, again, goes back to the whole judgment thing. Yeah? Like, at the end of the day, if that person makes you happy, if you make them happy, like, fuck other people. Do you? Just do you care? As long as, obviously, you're not hurting other people and you're just not being evil and all this shit. Like, if that person genuinely makes you happy, then, like, why should you even care about what people think at this point, really?
Right.
But again, consent, guys. Make sure. But yeah, like, oh my god, this is so many okay things to... It's just so sad in this day and age. Like, for example, I want to be friends with somebody or whatever. Going back to this conversation, I have to think about other people's feelings.
Yes.
Yeah? Like, people that I don't even know your fucking last name or your middle name. Like, why do I even care? But, like, at the end of the day, it's just because of the way we've been brought up and because of the people that talk shit about you behind your back. it just automatically happens. And that's just so sad, and I don't agree with that.
Maybe you guys should stop minding their business. I mean, minding what they think and just go your way.
I know, and I've tried
I
to
think
do
we
that.
definitely do.
But it's difficult sometimes, you know?
is.
Like, it is very difficult because you do... Like, I mean, I'm a different people. Personally, me, I'm a people pleaser. So it's very difficult not to, like... It's difficult to be like, oh, I don't care, because that's just me, I care. So it's very difficult. I guess some people do find it easier, but yeah.
As human beings, I think we have learned to constrict ourselves on how to feel accordingly to meet the standards of society or to meet the standards of other people. And I think this stands true for a lot of people and not just us.
Yep.
And I think it's a very mutual feeling.
I agree.
But this is also where you can see attachment as being a negative trait in people. I think about isto khale. Oh, banale. What I mean is,
What do you mean?
you know, like there's so many things in my head, but like I just can't get it out because
Yeah, actually, because you've mentioned that you felt this certain way, or you've had this sort of thinking for a very long time and all. So initially, what even started? Was it your own personal experience, or was it like...
I think it probably was like personal experiences, and I think especially in this last year, like I've just started to question everything and anything. So I think that's why as well.
It's us older generation rather than the younger one. Like, look at my baini. She don't
Yeah,
care what
that's-
anyone
yeah, exactly.
says.
That's the thing.
Right?
I feel like it's our generation dramatic.
Yeah, the middle generation, like we're just kind of like lost.
Hello, lost you?
Shout out.
But actually, it got me thinking about what you said earlier, how you said you haven't even... this topic that we're talking about today, you haven't fully expressed or talked about with your own partner. Do you plan on doing that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And what do you
Of course.
think his sort of reaction will be to this?
I think it will be a positive reaction because we don't really withhold from each other anything that's bothering us. We'll just talk it through. But because of COVID,
Hello, Zoom.
hello. And you know, like it just doesn't feel right to have these kind of conversations over the phone.
Yeah.
There's just no feelings to it. So I'd rather, like, when everything is settled, I'd rather just sit down and have a nice chat. But I think this...
So in that case, don't tell him to listen to this on
yeah,
Sunday.
hello, don't listen. If you are listening, go away now.
I listened to it for a warning time.
All this time.
He's like, what are you talking about, babe? I've heard it all. I don't get you.
But I think it's a very confusing concept for some to even like to think about because our society, we grew up in such a straight road and we don't think sideways about it. We don't really question anything as to why and how. I think this concept is very like, what the hell? Why would you even think? Like, I think people would assume that I'm a bit crazy to even like continue to think like this.
Well, you're just in the future.
That's initially like how I think, like if I were to continue to start expressing all this to like just other people, I feel like they would see me as a crazy person.
That's interesting. I think that depends on who you talk to. Like if you were to express this or even ask this to the older generation versus the younger, you're going to get completely different answers.
Yes,
so that
that's
would be
also true.
so interesting. Like going back to, like your partner and what they would think of this, I think it also depends on personal experience. And, especially within my relationship, I've had a issue with somebody that wasn't even a friend. This was a few years ago, but I was in a way taken advantage of. And then because of that certain scenario, not that my partner doesn't trust me, but because of the past experiences and how it affected me, he gets a bit worried. Yeah? So it's not a matter of jealousy or trust issues. It's just like, what if that person hurts you again because this has happened before? So I guess it's not just about, whether it's not, again, black and white. It depends on experiences and past sort of things as well.
Yeah, it really does differ from person to person. And it's never the same for everyone. And you also have to
But
experience.
definitely would love to hear, what the listeners are thinking, whether they think, whether a guy and a girl can be just friends or not. Given what was the original question? Whether it's a sin or not to even show kindness and affection without that intention there in the first place. Okay? So yeah, definitely would love to hear what you guys have to say on this. But yeah.
Being in a relationship is tough.
It is hard, you guys.
It is definitely hard.
It is 24/7 work.
That's coming out from Rosmita, man.
Come on, Rosmita, you got so much to look forward to. No, but then it's not always so bad. It's you have your good things and you've got your bad things as well.
I'm
So
gonna
it's
be
like
happy with my cat. Thank you.
all right then.
I think what people find difficult about relationships is that, of course, both of you are growing and you're aging nita, and your views are always changing. And I think that is when conflicts can occur in your relationship if you both don't see eye to eye, or if you don't respect each other's opinions in that way.
That's the thing. Like this always LYINA ko post, like this is when we used to do video podcasts, when we were like, okay, let's do a post on Instagram and let's just pick out a quote. Tero quote always sticks out to me, which is listen to understand, not to respond. And I think that's so important. Even like not only just relationship between a couple, but whether it's parents, whether it's your siblings, like it is so important not to just listen to respond and have your answers ready to fight back on it. Just really listen to what they're saying and vice versa. Okay?
Right, it's not an exam. Give it some thought before you actually open your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think, we have concluded a lot.
We've covered
today.
a lot. And it's not your typical lovey-dovey, into cute shit.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah. But I think, it is definitely a great topic. So thank you for coming up with that, Arati and Mr. Clouds.
You're welcome.
Hopefully you have got a long, healthy relationship. Thank you.
With your cat. Thank you.
Yes, 10 years. Oh.
So, yeah.
Anyway, on the topic of love, I've got a few questions.
Ooh, what? Wait, what? For us?
To end this note happily, kind of.
Okay, on a positive note, I know.
Instead of being all serious.
All right, then.
Something I can't relate to.
Oh, God. Oh, no. This is going to be sad, is it? Or
No.
are we going to regret being in a relationship?
No, I don't know.
Oh,
I
drama.
haven't tried it before. So.
You haven't tried it before.
Anyway, from a question from a singleton to a couple of coupletons.
Okay, so
Far away.
This is going to be Rashmita's segment of singleton versus coupleton.
No, it's not. It's just going to be one way. I just asked the question.
Okay, fine.
And we don't answer, so it's just one way?
Oh, wait. I totally forgot before we get into this segment, the question that we were supposed to ask you. So, Rashmita, because me and Barsha, we're very kind of open people, and we like having friends of like the other sex, and we do have friends as well of the other sex. How do you see that from your perspective? Because you are our friend, and what do you take that as?
Do you think we're sluts?
Yeah.
Are we whores?
Oh, guys, stop it. Stop being such hoes. Like, just stay
Loyal.
faithful.
These
Yeah,
hoes
what
and
the heck?
loyal. Oh, cute Chris Brown.
Okay, going back to that.
To be honest, I didn't even know you guys had guy friends.
Wow, says a lot about our relationship.
Okay. Barsha just blurted out
These hoes ain't loyal. Okay, that's not how it goes.
the word loyal. Now, I think when outside people see Dunbani Manjeka relationship, they already assume that if that person has a friend of the other sex, or she or he's not being loyal to their partner. Do you not hear that a lot? And
Yes.
I'm just like, fuck off.
I think
What
I
Arati said, fuck off.
Fuck off.
I think I said that to my sister.
We
a lot.
might have to take this out.
No, it's fine. Let's leave it in.
That was too...
That's raw, real and raw. There's a raknino. Listeners?
Are we keeping this part then?
Yes, we are. We're keeping it raw
See,
and
guys,
we're keeping it
you
real.
get to see new sides of us that you would have never seen.
I think it's because
Not that
especially...
innocent Arati.
I think the reason that we expressed Titi Sara is because we've been through it and
Yeah.
it pisses. It's just so It triggers.
Yeah,
It's triggering.
It's definitely not just us who feel that way. There are loads of other people who feel that way, whether it be from KTK ne हाम्रो जस्तो viewpoint or even from like a male perspective, because sometimes there are people who are toxic, and talking about toxic relationships, it can be either a female or a male. So yeah.
And the sad thing is sometimes this sort of judgment comes from other people who are in the same situation. For example, like Tora Mama, we're both in a relationship. You have guy friends, and let's say I don't. And I could be the one judging you, like, oh, boyfriend without any. Like, it comes from people with like who are in a relationship as well, and not just singles or whatever. But anyways, going back to the other question, you know how Rasmita, you were saying like, oh, I didn't even know you guys had guy friends. Let's say it doesn't matter whether we had or whether you knew or not. Let's say we're in a relationship, your friends are in a relationship, but they also have friends who are guys. See, that's how it should be.
Everyone be like Rasmita.
Be like Rasmita. Let's start a movement. Hashtag be like Rasmita.
Don't care about other people's, even if it's your own friends. Just live your life like Rasmita.
Basically, do you, boo. Do you.
Yeah, you do you, boo.
You do you.
I guess it comes from the binigo.
Yeah.
Just like loads of get us out here. Dream.
Okay, we miss you. Come back. But I think, yes, and it's totally up to her. And at the end of the day, it's her life. And in this process, and her being friends with these guys for whether, you know what, at the end of the day, whether it's 1 year or 10 years, it doesn't even matter, because at the end of the day, she's not hurting you, she's not hurting your family, she's not doing it to like, it's the evil women that got going, and she's just doing what makes her happy. They get along, so why should other outsiders judge them or like think negative of them?
Yeah, she's been hurt by Kitty
Girlfriends,
Sati more than her Kita Sati.
So exactly.
So I'm like happy for her.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's how parents should be. Like, if your daughter or if your whatever is happy, if the person you love is happy, then you should be happy. Okay?
Exactly.
Don't judge.
So be talking about friendships with guys. What would you say to showing affection physically? भन्नाले अब यो चाहिँ अब आफ्नै personal choice-मा आउँछ है guys. यो चाहिँ फेरि it doesn't just mean that एउटा मान्छेले भन्यो भन्दैमा सबैले त्यही गर्नुपर्छ, सबैले त्यो गर्नु हुँदैन हैन. यो चाहिँ अब सबैजनाको personal choice र अब उस अनुसार नै हुन्छ.
I think it depends on how physically के भन्छ
touchy you are.
Affectionate you are. I guess it goes on back to that.
I think personally for me, like a hugging a guy friend is literally nothing. And same with maybe with holding hands, but there's two way of holding. It's like where you just do a couple hold
your
where your fingers go in between, or the other one. I think the other one is acceptable. I think the fingers maybe
interlocking is a
little bit going over the thing. But at the end of the day, I mean, also kissing, hell no. Like lips? Well, I'm thinking lips. No. Cheeks say maybe. No, I guess. I guess. I'm sure with that right now. But I think what it is the intention behind it. Okay? So yeah, last
I just think of them like. What time is this?
You know.
Oh, she thinks of them as like kids, okay?
Kids, yeah. They're just having fun.
Like,
these
kids.
They don't have any intentions behind anything.
Yeah,
They're just like.
Right, and that is what love should be. It's just
they
pure.
Just say I like you as well.
Yeah, it's pure intentions. It's not like you don't have anything bad. Oh, but you don't. It's. Oh, I don't even have words to explain it.
Because basically, I'm lost as well now.
Right.
Hopefully,
but, you get the idea.
And also, she's in a happy relationship,
right?
Yeah, and he doesn't mind.
Dia last nag trust हुनु पर्छ के.
But
trust and communication.
Trust and communication key to anything, any relationship, not just a guy and
boyfriend and girlfriend and girlfriend, boyfriend and boyfriend,
friendships, everything.
Apart from with your pets, because you can't really communicate with them. Well, technically you can, right?
I do.
Even plants. You have to talk to plants for them to grow.
I did.
Did it work?
Some of them died.
Oh my god.
Were you saying negative affirmations? Okay.
I think she was saying, why are you not growing? Maybe you showed your frustration, that's why.
This is typical Asian parenting. Like, why are you not growing?
Oh dear. But yeah, just another that was another
Interesting thing to think about.
Yeah, another interesting thing to think about for anyone listening. What do you guys think about showing affection physically? Because everyone is different. Everyone shows love in different ways. And yeah.
What do you think? Did you even answer?
I think it's okay.
Well, what's okay? Kissing on the lips?
Not that, but I think just hugging and holding hands. I think that should be okay. If you and your partner understand each other well, and if about, I don't know, it's a difficult concept to explain, but as long as you respect each other's opinions and views and understand it and understand that it's just pure intentions and nothing else behind it, I think it's okay.
Yeah, it goes back to the...
Just think of them as your girlfriends, but with balls. Thank you.
Drop the mic. I didn't get that
Oh,
one.
and no boobs.
Oh my
Well, some of them might have boobs.
god.
Okay, sidetracking here. So I guess it goes back to what your individual, what you class as,
Yeah.
too far, or is that too far, is not. But also you have to, I guess, discuss it with the partner and what's right between you two. And but then at the end of the day, you shouldn't be doing things just to please the other person. Like, for example, partner, if the person doesn't like it, it's kind of sad, because at the end of the day, you have, like Arati said, you've got your own life. That's unique. That just because a partner doesn't like it doesn't mean you have to completely
Stop it.
Yeah, because you do have to communicate these things and discuss them, because you are who you are. You can't just change for anyone. Yeah.
There should be no constriction to anything.
Then again, we're saying that's again our thoughts, and there's probably listeners who may disagree with that, and that's completely fine as well. Okay?
Yeah, because that's your opinion. And that's fine too. And sometimes I just feel like, in my past life, that I was one of those free people. Okay?
So that's why you're so worried now.
She says that, and in my head, I'm like, yo, guys, I think in my past life, I think I was a giraffe because I've got a bit long neck.
She was a hippie then.
You know what?
Were you riding me?
Seriously, that's what I've been thinking, like, I don't know, for the past few months, I just kind of think, like, maybe in my past life, I was a hippie, and...
But it makes sense if you go back to the previous generations. A lot of in the hippie era, maybe you were one of them amongst the era, living, smoking weed.
Getting high.
Actually, it just got me to think on situation, like for some situation or some people. Let's say you are friends with a guy or a girl, and then you get into a relationship, and then because of the partner doesn't feel comfortable that you're friends with a certain sex, you drop that friend. What are your thoughts on that? You're doing it at the end of the day for your partner, knowing...
Sad.
Are you? Like, that's... I mean...
Like, that shouldn't even have to be a thing where you drop a friend who you've known for years, and just because your partner doesn't like it or is not comfortable with the fact that you are friends with opposite sex, that you have to drop it. I think that's just not respecting your girl or boyfriend's relationships with other people. It
goes back to loyalty, I guess, and then you've got this, like, you're friends with this opposite sex for a very long time, I don't even
think it's loyalty, it's insecurity.
For sure.
Stemming from that other person who says no to you.
I meant loyalty in terms of, like, you've got this loyalty with your friend.
Oh, yeah.
And then you drop that person. Like, where is that loyalty? Yeah? Like, you've been friends with a person for a very long time, let's say, and then you just drop it for this another person that you're in a relationship with. And then what does that say about your friendship with the other person?
You have to be very strong-headed about, it's the situation, Mate, where the question is, like, do you want to keep having that friendship, but knowing that your partner will be uncomfortable with it, or are you willing to sacrifice the years of friendship and good memories that you have with that person for your partner? So,
are you talking new relationship with your boyfriend? I mean,
no, just as a scenario.
Because if, like, you have such a long connection with your friend,
but I feel like there has people do that though. Just because your new partner feels uncomfortable,
You just
people
drop
will
them.
leave the other partner for your new partner. Okay, like not you leave your old partner, leave your friend because of a new partner. But also kind of related, but basically now. Both Arati and myself, we feel, I guess we agree to similar kind of views there is got me thinking, is it possibly because we've been in a relationship for quite a long time? Okay, before I let you answer, I'm gonna let you finish. But, if you don't mind, do you want to say how long you've been in a relationship for?
Yeah, so both me and Barsha, we got in a relationship when we were 15.
I was actually 14.
Yeah, you were 14 because you were still July.
Whoa. July.
All the details. And we're actually, oh my god, next month will be our 11th year together with our partners.
Yeah.
Which is pretty daunting. It's a bit, whoa.
Yeah, you guys are old.
We're old, you guys.
old.
We're off the market.
Old couples.
Yeah. And sometimes I feel like it's a bit surreal. It's like, what? Really? Like every year it passes by, every year it just makes you think, whoa. Like it doesn't feel real.
Yeah, it kind of feels like, I can't believe we've been together for 11 years. But it also feels like, wow, we've only been together for 11 years. I know. It feels like that. Okay? But yeah, it got me to think. Maybe, do you think like we share the similar views because we got in a relationship very young age and obviously growing, like you said, people do grow, and as you grow and mature you maybe develop new friendships as well. Do you think this?
I would definitely think so.
You guys were babies.
Yeah, we technically.
Do you know
were
what?
babies.
Sometimes I think like if I have a daughter and if that daughter were to be in a very long-term serious relationship at the age of 14, I don't know how I would feel about that.
I don't know either.
I would just be like, girl, just live your life first. 'Cause it's not the fact that you don't get to date other people. It's just at a very young age, you take on so much emotional baggage. Not only yourself, but the other person. And as you grow older together, there's obviously all these issues. Like maybe you have some mental health issues, as does the other person. And not only... whilst you're still growing and developing, not only are you trying to learn and help yourself, but you're trying to be there for the other person and trying to help the other person, cater to the other person. The reason I would definitely be like, daughter, please wait at least you're like 21.
I would
don't get into your
definitely
serious.
understand where you're coming from, because oh my god, at the age of 14, 15, your brain is not even fully developed to cater to emotional त्यो उसहरू के हो भनेर थाहा पनि हुँदैन नि त.
Plus all these life challenges that is coming into your way
and
as
you
well.
don't even learn about it. You're only just hitting puberty, for goodness sake.
I know. Sometimes I think to myself like, oh my god, I was so young. Okay, like what was I thinking? Doesn't like say, but of course,
what were we thinking?
I know, you guys have lasted so long. Like, wow.
Wait,
well done.
why are you surprised?
When you think back like that, you will be surprised.
But it's not to say that it was smooth sailing, right,
Oh
Marsha?
hell no! I mean, we can get into a whole topic on relationships.
Oh my god, that would be...
It was, but then I think that's what makes a couple stronger and makes them last longer, is the fact that you go through these ups and downs and you work through it and you come out the other end stronger, just like a poop. I don't know why I thought about poop.
Yeah, you literally process everything.
Literally, it is like man said, and life is a roller coaster, and it goes up and down. Yeah, it is, and so is being in a relationship. And man said, one thing that I've actually really hated is when the outside person was mentally here. So I'm a relationship here, and they're like, wow, I can't believe you've been together for 11 years. How do you do it? Or you guys are so perfect. I'm like, we're not perfect though. Like literally, if you only knew the stuff that we have actually gone through and worked through. Yeah, like, and that's the thing. Like mentally, it's not easy. Okay, you really do need to put like both sides need to put everything in it.
Like even I wouldn't be shy in saying that if other people were able to visibly see how the relationship actually went, a lot of people would probably backchat about me. So
I agree.
Like it's definitely not easy. There really are times when everything will fall apart, and you just have to start from scratch and just figure out what it is that went wrong and what you need to fix, because it's not easy, because sometimes you don't want to open up about it, or sometimes your partner doesn't want to open up about it. And like Borsha mentioned, when you get into a relationship at a very young age, every year you're still growing. And every time your views are changing as well, okay?
Yeah.
Whether it be towards life or towards anything. So it is very difficult.
And especially, I was reading this book right now. What it was saying was, I think from 18 onwards or 20 onwards, your brain is still growing and observing a lot of things around you. So whenever, like Abad and Ami, we were 14 and 15. So imagine having to grow up with another person, and you go through so many most important like life changes. And you're going to college, you're going to get a job, you're thinking about career, you're thinking about your parents are thinking about marriage, and then there's so much things you have to grow together and learn to adapt, I guess. And you have it's just a lot. I mean, to our partners right now, we may seem like we're complaining, and we're absolutely not. Like, you probably have heard of this a million times, but it is a real thing. And when people say, "Oh, it's so perfect," I'm like, no, it's not.
It's never
not
perfect.
And the thing is, if you do ever hear a person say or reply back with, "Yeah, I know, we're so perfect, we never fight,"
No,
that relationship is long gone, honey. Like, get out of it. Like, that relationship is boring as fuck.
Then they are just for show.
Honestly. Oh, let's talk about that. I actually hate, if you're one of these people, that I am not sorry. But I actually do not like those people that just post for the sake of posting and showing off as well. Like, I think a relationship should be, and it is, between just two people. And of course, if you want to share your happy moments, go ahead. But there are some people out there that'll just do it just to show off, or look at me type moment. And that I'm just like, that's not healthy. Maybe that's not healthy. It's just like saying maybe they've got something in their relationship, problems are, so they're trying to show off to other people that they're perfect. Like, no, that's I'm like with that.
Or they might actually be perfect.
Or they might be perfect.
Or they might be, there is always a 50-50 chance, है? So, अब हुन नि सक्छ guys, हैन, कोहीको एकदमै राम्रो छ भनेर कि उनीहरुको के भन्छ नेपालीहरुमा ग्रह हेर्न चाहन्छ 100% compatibility हुन सक्छ है guys. फेरि हाम्रो don't take our words for, don't take it to the grave. So going back to about the whole thing of about growing up together, I just want to kind of highlight as well the other people that you come across in your life. If it is of the opposite sex, you might learn a lot from that other person as well. So, I don't know how to explain it, man. It's a difficult concept. Not difficult concept, but say that I, example, am 18 years old, but I'm in a relationship, in a long-term relationship. And then a person B, who is a male, comes along into my life, and I become good friends with this person B. And I develop good friendship with this person. Oh my god, and I've lost it.
I think what you're trying to say...
let me collect my thoughts.
Okay, while she collects her thoughts, relationship भनेको चाहिँ, I feel like a fucking therapist right now. Relationship भनेको, yes, you have a relationship with the loved ones, you have it with your parents, but you can also develop a relationship with friends, okay? And it's not in a way that you have a relationship with your partner. Different kind of relationship हुन्छ. अनि again, I'm so difficult. I think the listeners listening to this will probably be like, yeah, I know what you're trying to say, but I can't get the words out as well.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
When you try to actually explain it, it's actually very unexplainable, because this kind of thing is not something that you hear about often in like our outside world, that you're able to fluently speak it, because you right now are trying to speak from your mind and trying to collect those thoughts, but it's really not coming out good.
But in here, in your head, it makes sense.
It's all there. Like, so you can see all the scenarios in your head, and it makes perfect sense. But when you're trying to actually make it into words, it's like very difficult. But okay, example that I was trying to give was someone coming. Okay, you are already in a relationship with a person, right? But you don't always have to be like, oh, यही मान्छेले मात्रै मलाई सबै दिन सक्छ, I can only learn from this person भन्ने चाहिँ हुनु पर्दैन जस्तो लाग्छ के. So what I was trying to say is a person B comes into your life and you become good friends with this guy, right? And you may learn about like other things from him that you haven't thought about or like you haven't ventured into, and I think that is okay.
So basically every person that comes and enters your life is coming for a reason.
Yeah,
so it's not just like you learn or you basically with new people that comes your way, you can always learn a valuable lesson from them. Okay? It's not always restricted to one person only.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
I got you,
yes.
girl.
So yeah, you can always learn something from that other person, and it doesn't always have to be like oh relationship मा छ भन्दैमा you don't have to 100% त्यही मान्छेसँग मात्र बस्नु पर्छ भन्ने छैन के. Like the commitment हुन्छ नि, yes you are committed to a certain point, and yes it is very good that you are committed, but it doesn't mean that हुन्छ नि you forget everything else that other people have to offer to you and that you can learn from other people.
With that said,
for example, for example, like say that I want to learn about physics, and I go to the library. There's not just going to be one book about physics neither. There's going to be hundreds and hundreds of books that I can choose from. So it's fine to let other people into your life, and there will be valuable lessons. And also, it's okay if you want to let that person go at the end of your life too. With that said, like it's okay to end friendships. It's okay to end toxic relationships, of course, 100%. And yeah, so I think that was my example there.
I was going to say, no.
Oh, thank you.
I was going to say as well, with the new person coming into your life, if, for example, if you're out there and you have this new person coming into your life and you feel like maybe you can develop a relationship, affectionate, lovey-dovey relationship with this person, break up with the person you're currently with. Like, there's so many like the cheating or because of emotional here and there and so on. I think it's just so wrong. And I think like definitely if you do feel like, okay, maybe this is not working out or that could develop into something more, do that person a favor and just like break it then and there. It's going to hurt more. I mean, it's going to hurt less doing it now than doing it later. Because, yeah.
But I think people, this the situation, you also have to understand if you like that person because of the romantic aspect or because you like that person for something else. Because that is where kind of attachment kind of comes in and can play as a negative trait to yourself and in your relationship. Because say that you are in a relationship and I can't explain it.
I was going to say, no.
It's there, but it's not coming out.
I was going to say, like, for example, another person might come into your life and it's nothing like lovey-dovey, affectionate way, but you love that person as a friend, the man say, I think it's really important for that person to really respect the fact that you're in a relationship as well. They shouldn't cross any boundaries or they should really, the respect should be there, okay? Yeah, the person B should be aware of what the person A's status is. And if person B really sees a friendship out of it, then they should set clear boundaries and what they should be doing and they should not be doing. And if they do have feelings, then they should make it clear out straight and sort it out. Nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
But again, these are like our opinions. So obviously people listening will probably or may have a different opinion to us. And we're not saying that we are professionals or we're therapists, we're right and you should do this. This is this is just our point of view. So
it's just from our experience and what we have experienced up until now and how these experiences have molded us to think in such ways. So, and no opinion is right or wrong, like we mentioned in the beginning of our episode. So, yeah.
So, yeah, should we get to those questions that Rasmitha has prepared for us?
Yes, come on.
I'm a bit nervous.
This is going to be Rasmitha's segment now. Don't ask us too many questions.
My time to shine.
Maybe ask us like 2.
Oh God, how many do you have?
Oh, I've got a lot.
Okay, let's go. Rapid fire.
You've already said, how did you meet? Now, What were your first impressions?
Well, we never said how we met.
Oh, yeah.
We just said what age we met.
Okay.
Well, I think that's good enough too. That's a lot of info there.
Fine then.
We reject your question. Next.
What were your first impressions?
Oh, this is going to be funny.
Oh, I don't... First impressions that I would keep on, no?
Oh, God, come on, girl. He's listening.
I don't even think I had like a solid first impression though.
Okay, I'll go then.
I didn't think much of it.
So I think my answer will go back to Rasimda's first question, to be honest. But obviously, okay, so I was in school and he was in school. It was school ma dehera uboko. But my first impression of this guy was like, oh my God, his hair is so cool. Like, he had like mohawk.
Oh my God.
Mohawk theory, not only a mohawk, he had like golden tips throughout the weekend. Hey girl, that was hot in 2010.
You know what? That's so weird because when I kind of first saw him, he had a mohawk too.
Did we see the same guy?
Definitely not.
Because of the thing going on for that then.
No, I think that was the trend back then.
That was the era though, like the mohawk era.
Yeah, it makes sense for us to be attracted to that and for them both to be doing that in 2010.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just the hair and I was like, whoa, he looks cool in that hair.
Okay, what do you like about your other half?
Okay, this girl's gonna take her time.
Going deep.
Man, what do I like about him? I don't know.
Okay, I'll go. I've got answers.
She's gonna go first all the time.
I think the most important thing, especially like the past few years, is the fact it's the support really. Like especially we're all at that age where, you know, career and parents and their own and career and stuff like that. And it's really hard, you know, guys, especially with the pandemic and everything, and obviously trying to establish a career here and there. And it's been very difficult, and he's always been that rock and giving me interview tips, like giving me like, oh, don't worry, nothing will happen, or everything will be okay, or right now I'm just very thankful for that. So thank you. You never heard this. You'll never hear this again.
For sure, last time.
You could got it over, save it as a ringtone. Thank you.
Thank you. Come again.
Okay, Arati?
What was the question? I forgot
what was this? Something like
What do you like about your other half?
What do I like? I mean, he's very caring. He doesn't like tend to show it a lot, but he is very caring and he's very understanding. Yeah, I think those are the two things that I like about him the most. And very supportive too. And
the thing with like Mantek caring, like you said, like he doesn't really show it, but he is caring. Everyone has their different way of expressing that they care and love. This is going back to 2020. Yes. So definitely take that love language, guys. Like it does really help you to understand one another so much better.
I was literally going to mention that.
Hey, same thinking.
Okay, next question. What's one thing that bothers you about your other half?
Ooh, I've got a list in here somewhere. Let me take it out. What's something that bothers me? Okay, I gotta think.
To be honest, I don't actually know.
Oh, I'm sure I know. But I'm just trying to think what bothers me the most.
We don't really think about these things too.
Yeah, this is deep, man.
That's why I'm asking you these questions. Okay.
Something that bothers me.
Okay, backstory is we were gonna shoot a couple video, not video, but
couples episode, special sort of episode with our couples.
And these were the questions I prepared for them, but the boys at the last minute had to back out.
Well, it's okay. It's COVID right now, so we understand.
They're shy.
They're very shy.
They're very shy.
So what's something that annoys me the most?
I don't think I have any.
Oh, I've got something now. So basically, my other half, he's got like short nails and I've got long nails and usko to ichun the reason got the short boy. He always grabs my hand and he like digs my nail into his nail beds and that pisses me off. So stop it, will ya? This is annoying like there. And it's just the thing is I say because he's been doing it for so long, he just like automatically grabs my hand and starts doing it and I have to pinch him away like no, don't do it. Okay.
I don't really think I have anything.
Artie's boyfriend, if you're listening, save that as a ringtone. Nothing bothers you. Nothing bothers Artie.
Artie loves you 100%.
I think he probably knows me better than I know me, to be honest. I think that's very
Do you know
true.
what?
Like, he knows me better than I know me.
Do you know what? Like, after this episode ends, like, you're gonna come up with all these things. You're like, I should have said that. I should have said that. Like,
I right now say that, I don't have anything that bothers me about him, but he'll probably listen to this and say, no, you always complain about this and that about me. Okay? So, yeah.
Okay, when did it become love?
that's a tough one.
Well, that is a tricky question. But when do you know I will...
You know what? There, of course, like... No. A person can't just say, yeah, it was on the December of 25th of 2012, fell in love right now. I think when a person... When you know, like, you just know, okay? There's no way of explaining it.
Well, it wasn't love at first sight, though, yeah.
It was like cool hair at first sight.
Okay.
But on that note, can I say, even if you are in a relationship with the same person, you can fall out of love a lot of times.
Oh my God.
I think we have experienced this a lot too.
Especially being in a 10 to 11 freaking decade of a relationship. Okay, guys, and I think that's absolutely normal as well. And it does happen where you fall out of love and then you feel like, do I break it off? Do I still love this person? And then suddenly that spark comes back and you're like, oh my God, can't believe I even thought of that. Yeah. And like, we've been together for almost like 11 years and it still happens. And
it still happens and it's normal.
And I even Googled it, like, is this normal? And Google was saying, yeah, sometimes you lose a spark and, you can do things, communicate and then you can re-fall in love with the same person over and over again. It's natural, guys. It happens.
It's natural. We stand by it.
Yep.
We yeah.
Tested.
Yeah.
Tested and certified.
Trial and error.
I believe you guys.
Trust me, they have all this to look forward to. Take your time.
What would you miss the most if the other person was gone?
Oh, no, I can't even think about that. That's so scary to think about.
Don't cry. Barsha, don't cry.
Wow. It's not just one thing, though. It's like a collection of things. Okay, but if you had to pick one.
The top.
I think, I don't know. I can't really pinpoint. Because losing a person is a big thing.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know about you guys. Me personally, I lost my granddad when I was really young. So I was too young to process the emotions. So up until now, I haven't really lost anyone that I've been really close to. So it's hard to say because I have no experience with them now. If I had to choose one, oh my God, this is going to sound so cheesy. Are you guys ready for it?
Yes, go ahead.
Parents, I don't think you are, so please turn off. I doubt they'll be listening. But, it's so cheesy.
Go for it.
Then don't say it.
It's nothing like, risque. It's nothing like that. It's just, kisses on forehead, really. That's what I was going to say.
That's cute.
Thank you and good night. I'm embarrassed now. Go away if you're listening, Bobs.
Bobs.
I don't know.
For me, no, I think I just can't even think.
It's not just one thing, because it's a whole package.
Yes. And especially being in such a long relationship as well. Like, it's very difficult to point.
Exactly, because in this long relationship, you build so many memories together and you have so much things. It's just so hard to pinpoint just one thing, even though I just did already.
I think for me, maybe companionship. Having someone there.
To lean on.
Yeah, and I think that would probably be something that I miss.
Okay.
Even though, like, you know that there will be other people who you can connect with in the future, it still will never be the same.
It can never be replaced.
So
because what you have with the next person will be a completely different journey. Oh, that's just got really dark.
Rosmi, that was a deep question, mate.
That's why I said be prepared before.
It's fine.
I thought this was going to be light-hearted.
Yeah, she did say light-hearted. Why is this dark-hearted? So for listeners, if you're still listening up until this point, we have not heard any of these questions.
Yeah, we have not.
So that's why it's taking us a little bit of time to think about it as well. Next question, hopefully not as dark.
Moving on. Oh dear.
Oh God. Here we go.
What have you learned from being in this relationship?
Oh, too many things.
Number one, being patient. Sorry. Like, I have zero patience. Like, I used to have crazy anger tantrum. And I've now come to realize that is my nature because I'm ruled by the moon and the moon changes a lot. And moon apparently is like a connection to my emotions. This is what I've learned, eh?
This goes back to Arati always sending us moon memes or something like that.
So literally, actually, going really off topic, like, so for people that don't know, like, mom and I, we go on our daily walks at 5 a.m. I was just if it's a clear sky, I always look up and I look at the moon and like I'm like, I saw shooting stuff for the first time in my life, yeah. I was like,
wow,
and I made a wish. I don't know if it's gonna come true or not, but but yeah, what was the question? I totally forgot.
What? Well, where is the question gone? Oh. What have you learned from being in this relationship?
Oh yeah, I've said it. So
yes,
learning to be patient and calm.
I think for me is...
There's a lot.
Oh, come on, Arati, say something.
If you had to pick one thing that
what I've learned
taught you the most. Learning how to dance.
I have to
she has to think now. Like, this is how we are in our our friend circle, eh? Like, Barsha says anything and everything about her relationship. Yep. And Arati doesn't
She's always the very quiet one, huh? Like, I think Dole even shares more than Arati. Arati's super quiet. And, like, for me, like, you guys don't even need to ask. I'll just say it.
She'll just be like, guys, this happened to me today.
Do you know what I found? Kiko yada. So, like, do you remember when we took a trip to... Where was it? Eastbourne last summer right now. And then we went to this chicken shop place. We were eating Chinese food. And we were literally blasting our partners. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about
it was when
Southampton again.
I came the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
That was so funny. Wow. But anyways,
what I've learned in the relationship, I think maybe I would just say respect for each other, and and understanding each other's opinions and views, and
learning to respect.
Yeah, maybe just respect would be the biggest one.
Next.
Good job.
Thank you.
10 points.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Do you see a future with your partner?
Is that even a question at this point? No, I've only wasted 11 years of my relationship. And we worked totally on... We worked on those issues just for nothing.
For nothing, yeah.
Yeah, of course. I think there's always that like, oh, will I not? Because obviously you falling out of love. But I think ultimately, of course, I think at this point our parents, like both of our parents know, and they're like, get on with it. You're at the age we need grandkids. But no. But yeah, like I think of course about 11 years the boys are good, no?
Yeah, I would say yes too.
Imagine we said no and they just like cried right now.
They'll be like, bye.
How could you? And we don't pick up and they call each other like.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I think it would be silly not to at this point.
But with saying that, a lot of relationships are like where you.
Another point to that as well.
Where you like are in a relationship, like let's take Bob's Beauty for example. She was engaged and married, and I think to a total of 15 years, right? They were together they had 2 kids, and of course things didn't work out and they broke up. And I think it's absolutely fine as well. We're not saying that just because we're in an 11-year relationship doesn't mean we have to get married. This is a scenario, so there's nothing wrong with that as well.
This is the aspect of life I feel like I'm lagging in. You know?
I mean, it's never too late, Rasmita.
No, I mean...
What do you mean?
You guys have been in a relation for so long. Like, you know about each other. And then you've
learned and grown together.
Yeah, you've learned and lived that part of your life.
But like, it goes back to us saying like how we got in a relationship at a very young age, and we had to go through a lot, get like traumatized a lot as well with Nunani Etauta Kuraru. But for you, like you got to enjoy it, and you're still freaking young, girl. You're not like 80 years old. You've got a whole life ahead.
But then, you know, when you think about it, our biological clock is ticking.
No. I'll give you a perfect example. Now, my Tama, who I think when she married her current hubby, her husband, she, I think was 29 or 30. I don't know. I could be wrong. But anyways, no, wait, I don't know. I'm very wrong. But anyways, arranged marriage book. They've been together for 8 years now. Okay, so it's like, and it's not like that's the young isma together book. No, they were set up at an older age. Someone then you're like 25, right?
26.
Oh shit, man, you're old. Oh, your time is going away. Bye bye. Okay, it doesn't matter. But just like a lot of people develop. पछितिर गएर पनि के अनि you shouldn't feel like यो वर्षहरुको 11 वर्ष भइसक्यो मेरो त only you shouldn't. That's very unhealthy start to a relationship. You're already starting with comparison.
Yeah, there's like positives and negatives.
Yeah, exactly. So you enjoy your life when it comes, and when the time comes, and you will literally you'll be thankful that it came at that time instead of forcing yourself into it.
And when you get into a relationship at a mature age, you know what to do and you know what not to do, I think. If that other person is mature too. And you won't have to go through just like nitpicking.
Hardships.
Teenager.
Yeah.
And I think I think the differences between our relationship, Mero, versus Tero will be that growing up, one thing I learned from this other podcast is that you need to learn to love yourself before loving the other person, because you can't give the other person full love if you can't even love yourself. And I think that's growing up, we're still trying to figure ourselves out, and that's where it's difficult for us to manage and balance. Whereas for you've learned to love yourself, and then now you're prepared to give it to the other person. Okay, so there are definitely pros and cons.
Final but not the least, describe your partner in one word.
Oh, this is a toughie.
That's difficult.
I've got it. An egg.
Anda.
Yeah. Hard, the hard shell on the outside. And here, Danny, oh my God. Even like Sorry says, it's like, oh, Bob said that it was so like tough, so, but really inside they're all soft and jiggly and, like, meh. The inside.
All guys are like that.
Yeah.
They just don't want to admit it.
That's true. Even I think with girls as well, like, like people that don't really show emotions out there.
I don't really know if I can describe him in one word. Well, I don't know what descriptive words are there to describe him.
An egg.
Something different than an egg, please.
Similar to egg. Watermelon. Coconut.
A word.
Yeah.
Just one word.
Caring.
No. I have it in my head, but I don't know what would explain it.
One word, eh? One word. That's like asking you who's your favorite parent. That's literally cannot. You're the word mother. Oh my God, that's difficult, yeah.
I would describe him as.
Come on, he's waiting, he's waiting this whole time. Like, come on, Aditi, you can't even describe me in one word.
He's not cutting this.
He's going to be disappointed, man. I would describe him as being very... I would describe him as a galaxy.
Oh, I like that. Okay, go on.
Big word.
Wait, Pops is at home like, galaxy, but I'm just an egg.
He just revealed his name.
The reason why I would say that is because in his head as well, he's got a lot of things, but he's just not able to see it. So you know how like galaxies have loads of other planets, and it has like stars, and all the like everything's there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that's how I would explain
Get in there,
Get in there, son.
He better be happy with that answer.
He's gonna sing this as his ringtone.
You're just texting as a ringtone. Oh, Allah. You're in Galaxy. Every time he
how
wakes
I
up.
would describe him, and I always tell him as well, like in front of him, I feel dumb.
Do you know what? Like, he comes up with this like conspiracies. He talks. I would love to have him on the show to just discuss it.
He's so shy.
I know. Like Galaxy,
Come on.
Ariti's boyfriend, if you are listening, and I know you are because you are a die-hard fan of the show, we must have you on in the next not next episode, but whenever. But we must at least have you once to talk about conspiracies, because I'm obsessed with conspiracies. And actually, one guy at work was saying him and his friend always talk about conspiracies.
Really?
So we should have them on as well one time.
He's
Whenever
gonna
it's...
be so shy.
He's not gonna say a word.
No, not at the same time. Maybe at different times then.
Throughout this episode.
But no pressure.
Or is there... Borsa is giving pressure.
But yeah, I think we've had a really nice
That was a very...
conversation
Yeah.
today.
And it
Long
actually...
chat.
Very long. It went on for longer than what I originally
Yeah.
thought as well.
I thought it was gonna be like half an hour max.
Very thought-provoking. I
You guys
thoroughly
had a lot
enjoyed
to
it.
say, that's why.
Yeah, of course.
I think definitely it's because we really relate to this conversation. And I think, like you said earlier as well, like we've had this sort of thinking and feeling for a very long time. And the question you were like, oh shit, that's how I've been feeling. And
Yeah.
then when you expressed that, I'm like, oh shit. So hopefully the listeners out there are probably like, oh shit, I feel like that too.
Domino
But
effect, oh yeah.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, if like we said earlier, if you like, let us know what your thoughts are on this whole topic. Definitely the question as well, the original question, what your thoughts and what your answers are to that as well. We would love to hear it. And maybe like we can even do a polls on Insta to see what people would respond with.
So to end our episode, we're just going to leave you with the question once more so that you can think about it. And the question was,
Is it a sin to show affection and kindness to someone to a point that there's a small possibility that they might start to have feelings for you when you never had such intention to begin with?
that was the $1 million question, guys.
Think about that. Let us know what your thoughts are, what your answers are. We would love to hear it.
But there is, remember, no right or wrong answer.
Your opinion matters just as everyone else's as well. So do not think otherwise.
Correct.
So yeah, should we wrap this episode up, you guys?
Yes.
Every day is a Valentine's Day.
Don't forget that it's not just one day out of a year, guys. Okay, every day. And it can also, on the last final note, I know we always say this and we brag on for so long, but Valentine's showing affection every day, not only to your loved ones, but to your friends, to your pets, to your families, literally your relatives, everyone. Okay.
Even to strangers.
I love each and every one of you.
Right?
Thank you.
Love is infinite. Love is...
There's enough love to
Yes.
go around.
Exactly.
Okay, that sounds making me sound like a whore, and I'm not, guys.
Don't. Stop saying that.
No, but there's enough love to go around.
Yeah, there is. One for you, one for you, one for my cat.
Follow her at itme.com. Wait, itme on Insta.
itme_me.
Oh, okay. itme_me. Okay, so guys, thank you for listening.
Hope you had fun.
And
Thank
we'll
you for having me.
thank you for being here, Mrs. Part-Time
Part-timer.
Rosita.
Yes.
And thank you for those questions. That was very interesting. It made us think as well. But yeah, it would have been nice to have our other halves here to see what they would say
Maybe
as well.
next year.
Innit, you shy people.
But yeah, thank you so much. So until next episode,
Toodle-doo.
bye.
Hasta la vista.
Bye.